everybody, it's Kelsee Briana J here with a review and tutorial using the new MAC Seed collection. And this collection is relatively small, but it launched on MACcosmetics.com. Let me read you guys the description of it, that way you can get a feel for what they selected and who they are working with. Paint your world. The makeup artistry of trend-setting MAC Cosmetics meets the vision of Dubai-based French Tunisian street artist and sculptor Seed. MAC Seed emboldens you to take control of your own image. So that makes total sense when looking at this collection. It's raw, it's fresh, it's beautiful, and I love the design of it. Street art is some of my absolute favorite art just because it's gritty and it's different and it's just edgy and it's not a cookie cutter image of what somebody is feeding to you. It's the epitome of individuality. So here's the packaging of the palette just to give you guys an idea of the art that you're going to be seeing. And this is Seed's art style. I looked him up just because I had never heard of him before, but I was really interested just because I like learning about stuff. But he uses Arabic calligraphy and he fused it into his own style, and he calls it calligraffiti. And so this is what we've gotten from that, but I really like it. I think the concept is cool. Let's go over the pieces that are in the collection. There are 4 different lipsticks. I grabbed one of them. Each lipstick retails for $19.50, and I got the color Maya LaBelle, which is a really beautiful reddish orange color. There's also a color called Une Caresse. You guys, French is literally my weakness. Seriously, I'm trying here. So this color is described as a cool, dirty brown. And then we have the color Declaring Love, which this one is described as a bright, cool pink. I believe this one is called Un Baiser or Un Baiser. All the packaging has the same design, and my lipstick has the same design as well. It wraps around the lipstick bullet. Here is the lipstick, and again, on the inside of the lipstick, it has the design printed too. I really like the packaging of this lipstick. Next, we have an extra dimension skin finish, and this one is in the color Dima's Glow. This one retails for $36, and as you guys can see, it is in the same pink packaging. The actual compact does not have the design. The design of this is embossed on the actual powder, which is very beautiful to look at and very hurtful to use when you actually go to use the highlight. I always struggle with that. This color is described as a warm golden shimmer, and I was looking at it before I bought it. I really went back and forth between buying it just because I know that I have a lot of other light golden highlights, but I bought it for the sake of this video. But looking at it, you guys are reminded of what we already know: Whisper of Guilt, which is one of MAC's cult classic highlighters. I feel like Dima's Glow may be a bit more muted in tone. It's a little bit peachier, so on me, naturally, it's gonna melt more into my skin tone. Then it's just a little bit more tan and less gold, so it's not as intense. But like I said, I have it on now, and if I apply Whisper of Guilt with a little bit of a lighter hand, this will look the exact same way. I don't think anybody's really going to know the difference between that and this, even though they're not dupes for one another. I will insert swatches of this compared to Whisper of Guilt, as well as other highlighters that I feel like look similar as well. And the last piece of makeup that we have in this collection is the Cicero, bear with me, full face palette. And again, I showed you guys the packaging of this, but this is what it looks like. And here's the palette, and they're calling this a full face palette because there are 2 shades in here that they are calling powder blushes, but I'm just gonna go ahead and call it what it is. It's an eyeshadow palette. There's 15 different colors in here. So this palette retails for $66, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous to look at. As you guys can see, it has this design here, and you can feel this, it's raised on the front, and then when you open it up, it is clear, so you can see the colors in here. Here are the colors that were selected. Very beautiful. There's a mix of finishes in here. They have Volux Pearl, Lusters, they have mattes, and like I said, the powder blushes. But quick tip, just because MAC's shimmer eyeshadows all have like glitter particles in them, that does not mean that they're all the same formulation. MAC has several different formulations of their shimmery eyeshadows and their matte eyeshadows, to be honest. So there's a mix of finishes in here. There's light to dark. I feel like you could do a complete eye look using this palette just because it has everything you need. But I'm definitely going to be showing you guys how to complete this look on my eye, as well as trying on the other products that I picked up from the launch. Before I jump into that, I want to show you guys swatches of everything. Let me know what you guys think about it. I hope that you all enjoy this video, and I will check you guys at the very end, and I will tell you all my final thoughts on everything. So I'm going to take my Sonia G brush in the color Carnal Charm. And I already have my concealer on. So I'm just going to take this color and apply it directly in the crease. So back and forth and build it up. So just back and forth here. I'm going to take my time and build this color up in my crease. I want it to be pretty opaque. It's a bit of a drier color, so it might take a while to build this color up just because it's a bit powderier. I definitely would not set my concealer. So this color applied a little bit splotchy. I see some patches on this color with me trying to blend it. So I'm just going to go over those patches and use packing motions just so I don't have a splotchy crease color. So MAC did not label this color on the back of the palette under the eyeshadows. It put it under powder blush, but it's two different powder blushes and I don't know which color this is, so I'm going to try to look it up and see. It didn't really help because the two powder blushes pretty much have the same color description: Intense Bright Cool Pink and Cool Intense Pink. So I'm going to guess that this one is the first one on the back, and that is Gabriella. With the same brush, I am going to pick up the color Gabriella. I am going to press this right on the very outer corner and then blend it up. So I'm just going to take my time and build up this color. This is a traditional powder, so applying it does take a bit of time. So it's getting there. I'm just going to keep packing it on until it is an intense cool pink. And I'm just applying this on the outer corner, and then when I get to the crease, I'm going to flip the brush and lightly blend it to where it's blending into the crease, but I'm not going to take it all the way in. Okay, so that's about what we want it to look like. So now I'm going to take the color Shroom with the flat shader brush. This is a Hakuhodo B004 G brush. Very lightly, I'm going to apply this right underneath my brow, and this is going to be my highlight. So I'm just going to carefully apply this right underneath here. And honestly, this is a lot whiter than I remember the color being. So I'm just going to blend this out to the point where it kind of disappears, just because this is giving me a lot of frost and I didn't really want that much frost. I just want it to be a subtle highlight. Now I'm going to take this same brush, and I believe this color is pronounced Kasar, or the K may be silent and it's called Sar. Either way, I'm taking this color. It is on the first row with the same brush, and I am going to pop that right on the inner corner. And so blend it slightly over, but I am also going to take that color and apply it on the lower lash line as well. Same brush, and I'm going to take the color Shots or Chots. And I'm going to very carefully place that in this area that we left blank. Loading my brush up, and I am swiping to get this color on the lid. And I can already tell this is going to take a minute to get it to be opaque. So just take your time and build this color out. So I'm going to try this color with a little bit of Fix Plus. I am going to see if this is going to smooth this color out a little bit more, just because this color is a bit gritty, and that definitely helps. So I would recommend going in with Fix Plus to smooth it out and add some intensity to it. And all we can do is just be patient with it and then just build this color up. Okay, so I feel like this is as opaque as we're going to get, so I'm just going to move on. Okay, so I need to go back with my inner tear duct color. I'm going to take a pencil brush this time. This is a Sonia G Pencil Pro. Reapply that just because it got lost when applying my lid color, so I'm just pressing it on. On the middle of the lid, I'm going to take this color. I'm switching to a fresh pencil brush, one that has not been on my inner corner, simply because I don't want to muddy up the look, and I want to see if this eyeshadow performs on its own. Les Portes Blues. I probably just butchered that, but this color. This is an Esom S31 brush, and like I said, I am going to carefully apply this in the middle of the lower lash line. Little fallout, that's alright. Because this is a matte eyeshadow, you can't dampen it. To get it to stick a little bit better, I could go in with like my eyeshadow base and just kind of draw it a little bit, and then have this, and then have that to grip this eyeshadow. Child, I just don't feel like it, so I'm just going to continue to pack this on until it's opaque, and I think that looks good. And then I'm going to take the same brush in this color, and I believe it's pronounced Matte Mata or Matte Mata. Bring it on home. I'm going to apply this on the rest of the lower lash line and connect it to the top. So I'm going to do my liner and lashes, and I'll be back and we can try on the lip and the highlighter together. Okay guys, so here is the finished eye look. So now let's move on, and I'm going to apply my lips just because I am sick of being bare lipped. The lipstick that I bought is Maya Lavelle. I just want you guys to see the color. Formulation is beautiful. The color is beautiful. I just am not feeling it together. It's a little bit much for me. This color is popping, especially if you like an orange red. So I'm going to take it off. 3, 2. Okay, so this is more like it. I will have all makeup details listed down in the description box if you are curious. So now let's apply this highlighter. My least favorite part of trying makeup that has a design in it is actually messing up the design. So I'm going to go in with my Wayne Guys 02 brush, and I'm just going to take my time and go in on this product because, as you guys know, a new highlighter with a little design takes a while to get it on the brush. So giving us a really pretty glow. MAC's Extra Dimension Skin Finishes are pretty much A1. This one's giving me a glow straight off the bat. And I know that once this design is all the way gone, it's going to be even glowier. So I'm just going to take my time, build that up. It's giving me a really nice standard gold shimmer. Very finely milled, very glowy. It's not as intense as some of MAC's other Extra Dimension Skin Finishes, but it's still giving me a nice highlight. Okay guys, so let's reflect on the LC collection. So let's first talk about this lipstick. I like the packaging, I like the formula, I like the color. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this lipstick. Formulation is there. MAC lipsticks are beautiful. This color is not that original though. The only way I would say buy this lipstick is A, if you don't have it, or B, if you have colors like this but they're older and you need to update it, I would get it. Otherwise, it's not that unique that you need to add it to your collection. And same thing with the highlighter, guys. We've been buying highlighters for like the past 10 years. Shockingly, I am not the highlighter girl because I understand there's only so many colors you can get of a highlighter. And whenever the hype was going on initially, I bought in and I have a lot of highlighters. But since then, I haven't bought that much more because all the highlighters pretty much look the same. It's only so much we can do for it. And this highlighter looks like all the other gold highlighters that have come out in the past 5 to 10 years. So I wouldn't say that you absolutely need this again unless you've run out of highlighter or you've broken your highlighter, which is more likely to happen first, or it's just time for you to get a new one. So this one is not that unique. It looks like all the other ones, but it's formulated well. It gives you a nice color payoff. It gives you that beautiful glow, but it just looks like everything else that we already have. So again, I don't feel like it's a must-have, but it's nice though. So that brings us to the last thing that I got from this launch, which is the eyeshadow palette. I don't even know where to start with this eyeshadow palette. So let's talk about this eyeshadow palette in the sandwich method, shall we? So starting off with a compliment. I like the packaging of this palette. I feel like it's very beautiful. It's very inviting. It's interesting. My eyes are drawn to it. It makes me want to touch it. It makes me want to buy it and see what that palette's all about. Then when we take that bread off, let's get into the meat and the cheese and the bulk of it. This eyeshadow palette is very powdery. I found it very hard to work with. I found it very hard to blend. I couldn't really get an opaque eyeshadow look from it. I felt like the eyeshadows in here were very dusty. The shimmers in here were very gritty. They were pressed hard, and it was hard to get it to pack on the lid. So I feel like I had to spend a lot more time than I usually do packing on the eyeshadow. And even from MAC, I feel like this is a lesser quality than we've seen from them recently. I feel like all these eyeshadows are dry. This palette is giving me old school vibes, and not in a good way. This seems like they've reverted back to the eyeshadow formula that they may have used to have back in the day. An eyeshadow formula that we may have loved back then, but in a world where Pat McGrath, ColourPop, Sydney Grace, Colored Rain exist, this is not acceptable because at this price point, it's still expensive. It's $66, where this is a lesser price point than MAC used to charge. 17 years ago, MAC would have easily added another $100 onto this palette, and we would have likely loved it. But fast forward unto this day and age, right now, there's so many more options on the market where it's a lesser price point and the quality is much better than this. So this palette is unacceptable, and this will not thrive in this market we know better now. We have options now, and with the internet, we know that we don't just have to settle for one brand. And MAC, you cannot continuously put out eyeshadows that are inconsistent because your customers are going to get tired of it. And ultimately, they're just going to move on, which is sad because MAC is an OG in the game. I can see myself, if the quality was there, using this palette all the time going into spring, summer, just because it's beautiful. The quality is lacking, so therefore I am not feeling this palette, and that is very disappointing to me. As far as the rest of the collection that I did not pick up, I feel the exact same way about these pieces. I feel like the lipsticks are going to be great quality just because MAC really doesn't mess up with their lipsticks. It's like, it is what it is. They've mastered that, and they really don't tamper with that too much. So if you like the colors, then I would say go for it because it is pretty. Same thing with the highlight. It's just that eyeshadow palette is like, nah. So if you're looking to pick up anything from the collection, the eyeshadow palette most definitely is not something that I would recommend. But let me know what you all think about this collection down in the comments section. Let me know if you were looking forward to this collection. Let me know if you still are looking forward to this collection and you're going to pick it up. And I will catch you guys later. Smooches. Bye.